Hello, it's me. Hello, it's me. I'm sorry, it's Fiery Grace the Gifted. I'm here. I'm here with a Divine Masculine reading. This is going to be a very different Divine Masculine reading than you're used to, okay? And I only say that not because you're going to get, I don't know, some sort of different type of grace or no. I simply say tonight I'm going to talk about some things that I normally don't talk about. And what some of you guys have started to understand that it's when I don't plan on doing a reading. I was actually going to do this tomorrow because I have a session shortly after. I'm hoping that I can keep my time right for this. And then I have a couple sessions tonight and I'm going to get some sleep. But I basically have slept like 8 hours in between two 24-hour days. And so I'm just kind of like, and what are the odds that when I am loopy and a little bit off, it's like, it's time to talk about karmic situations. It's time to talk about all the stuff you, Fiery Grace, don't want to talk about, you don't want to address. So I'm going to shuffle, I'm going to bless, and we're going to talk about some things tonight. And those of you who are in separation, no contact, ghosting, tough communication situations. Oh my gosh, Christian, thank you. I haven't even started. You're amazing. Thank you. I guess it's because I'm talking about something that I don't want to talk about, and you know that. I appreciate that. But you know what? If you're there, I'm not going to ignore you. I don't think I do typically, but I'm not going to ignore you. I'm not going to pretend it's not real and that it doesn't exist. I know it does. And I also am going to talk about third party. So not just karmic situations, like, it could be a person, place, or a thing. It doesn't have to be just another, like a physical partner. It could be anything. It could be a job. It could be a car. It could be anything. That's a karmic. But I am going to talk about third party situations as well as those of you who are dealing with someone who's committed, like married, and maybe you're married too. This is the energy that I'm tapping into right now because there are some cycles that are closing. And as much as I don't want to talk about it, as much as I want to pretend it's not real, it is. And you deserve to receive these messages. So I'll go ahead and, oh, okay. I'll go ahead and get started here. Yeah. I mean, just again, wow. Wow. Already. Wow. Wow. Okay. Why did I even like that? See, I'm out of it. I knew that candle wasn't going to last but a couple seconds and wow. It goes out right when the 3 of Swords comes out. You want to know why the Divine Masculine is going to be ready to move forward now? And again, you might be watching this later and you might be picking up on the energy. Whenever you're watching this, oh, when it all falls down. That's what's happening. Have you ever, if you know that song, have you ever heard that first like pitch, like that first little part of the song when she starts to sing and you can just feel it in your soul, like, yeah, it is all falling down. Okay, that right there, that's where the Divine Masculine is. So again, if you're in union, if you're in contact, this may resonate, but again, you're probably going to just be more here for the chat or for the coaching. But those of you who've been wondering why the hell it's so intense, wow. Who did sing that? That was a Kanye song, but who did sing that? So, all right, we've got 3 of Swords. Really quick, let's just find out a quick message, and I'm going to light this candle again. What is it that we need to understand is ending? Great sadness, take time to heal, forgive yourself, forgive. So the Divine Masculine is going to have to forgive themselves because whatever it is that they chose over you, man, You know why I don't like doing these readings on, and see, this is where people really vibe with me, and then some people don't like it because it's like, no, Grace, just tell me the fairy tale story and let me live my life the way I want to live it. And it's like, I can't do that. I don't like doing readings like this because I feel like it's unfair to those who, haven't either reached that space where their intuition is able to break through their fantasy, um, or just people who just, it's not on the table yet in terms of union. I don't like to get people's hopes up, but I feel it. I just do. Okay, but hold on. So what's back here? What do we need to know about why the divine masculine is finally seeing, I think, themselves in the mirror clearly? You know that moment when after you take a shower and that you wipe the steam and the fog off of the glass? It's that moment, you hear the girl, all falls down, you wipe the mirror, and it's just like, oh my gosh, who are you? So what is it we need to understand about this? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So again, the Ace of Pentacles, it doesn't necessarily mean that your divine masculine is materialistic. Not every divine masculine search for prosperity is because of wanting a bunch of things. Some of them might just want to have a comfortable life, right? Some of them just want to be able to go fishing on Sundays, make sure they're taken care of, have a little bit of money for an emergency, and simple life. But they know what they want. And unfortunately, what's happened, and this is where a lot of you did, I kept trying to explain it, but I realized that what's understood doesn't have to be explained sometimes, and that some people are just not going to get it no matter how I phrase it, how I put it. It's not just in the light worker community or YouTube. It's just generally speaking. People don't want to understand things sometimes. And so when I try to say months ago, listen, 2020 is going to set up some opportunities for the divine masculines to really see themselves clearly. And when the pandemic hit, it was like, oh, well, here it is. This is why. This situation is going to bring about a lot of kind of forced towers. And one of them is going to be financial. And I tried to explain that a lot of divine masculines were going to come around either out of necessity or because they were forced to look their karmic partners in the eye. They were forced to, stand up for something. And then they go, oh my goodness, I'm fighting for the opposite side now because I see what's really right. What was I doing? Like all these things were going to change. And you guys are starting to see it. You're starting to see where they're sitting in front of their karmic partners stuck in quarantine, like, oh my gosh, this is really you. All these situations that are happening because the world is changing were so unexpected, but they are making a big difference, and the divine masculines are very, very frustrated. And so when they look their karmic partner, or maybe even, again, sometimes this is where I don't like to do readings about karmics, because I know that in the twin flame community we're very, very angry and hateful towards karmics. We kind of get snippy, like, oh, here's the karmic, but what I try to explain to people is most of the people that you're calling karmics are actually either twin flames or some sort of high level soulmate. And you should be thanking them for the work that they're going to do in your divine masculine's life. And you should allow your divine masculine to do the work that he or she is going to do in their life so that they can go find their true twin rather than being frustrated with them. And so bringing it all back around, these divine masculines are now realizing that this person cannot be their person because everything's falling apart. And that dream and that goal of having prosperity is not there. It's not present. It's not real. It's impossible with this person. And so you see that the divine masculines are starting to get really freaked out. They're starting to get angry. They're starting to get exit strategies developed. And oh my goodness, they're embarrassed, you guys. They're embarrassed for making the choice that they made when you were such the obvious decision. You were such the obvious choice. You were everything they needed and more, and they knew it. And unfortunately, the situation, if it is someone who isn't for them and maybe is meant to cause tower moments in their life, the situation might be playing out right now the way that might be really painful for them. And as much as you might think, oh, well, I've been through pain, so who cares? No, you can't think like that. You've gone through pain too. You've had karmic partners and high level soulmates that have changed you. And even your twin flame has been a catalyst for your growth. And think about the pain you've been in. Why are you the only one who's allowed to be in pain? Because other readers have told you that. And so, I have to be really cautious tonight. So, please do allow me to do that, because I still do, as you know, stand for the divine masculine, simply because I'm very in touch with my inner masculine. I am in union with a beautiful divine masculine who I watch grow and surprise me every single day. And I've been there. Done that in a lot of ways. And if I haven't, I have empathy for you. And so please accept the messages that I send you, because what we're seeing here is a divine masculine in pain. But remember, this card applies to the divine feminine. And so divine feminine, you want to know why you went through that pain? Oh my gosh, I'm about to cry. What the frick? Do you want to know why you went through this? Do you want to know why you had to deal with this? Same reason. Because this was the only way to get you to your dreams. This was the only way to get you to this space and this place. And you might get mad and be angry and hate the karmics and whatever you want to call them, but this was what had to happen. This was the only way. And so let's go ahead and let me clear this light up. And let's look at what's happening now in the 5D level. I want you to reflect for a moment on what it is that you really want to know from this reading, okay? I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, if you could ask any question right now, and maybe I might hear you, you know what I mean? What would you want to know? I want you to take a moment, okay? All right, because there's going to be some things revealed in the final card in the energy here, okay? All right. Wow, the world again. Seven of Cups again. That's two sinks. Oh my. Wow. Okay, you have your question? Because this might not be the answer. It's going to be something that triggers. Not even trigger, that's not the right word. It's like a puzzle piece. It's going to fall into place and it's going to open your vision up, but you still need to interpret. We'll look at that. This was not just about this card is saying you're coming into, wow, this is a lot. Hold on. This card is not just coming into your own. This card is also contracts, soul bonds, things that must occur in order for the next step, prerequisites, if you will. Do you want to know why you had to go through this stuff? To get yourself to a point where you could be the light worker you were always meant to be, so that when you and your divine masculine finally get together, it's actually right. And you actually can achieve the goals and really have a purpose in mind other than just being in a relationship. You get too caught up in just each other and you guys are going to have problems because you're twins. You're not, I don't know, you're not just normal folk, I guess, because you have such an intense mission. And that's the whole reason why you were put here together instead of just being one person. You were put as two. The whole reason for it is because you have something that you need two people to do. And if you're not focusing on that and you're focusing on each other, it doesn't work. Divine feminine is supposed to be watching divine. Divine masculine is supposed to be watching divine feminine for the intuition and then leading the way. And divine is, the checks and balances are there. I just talked about that in one of my sessions today. Divine is watching divine masculine, making sure everybody's on point. And so this was also about you coming into your own. This was also about your karmic situations, your high-level soulmate situations, your growth, your development. This was not just about what your divine masculine needed to do. This was also about you. And unfortunately, sometimes, not just readers, I think a lot of teachers, when we try to be so positive, and we, especially because whoever's watching us, we believe, I believe it. I believe if you're watching this right now, you want to know, you want to learn, you want to grow. So of course I want to tell you, hey, you're doing a great job. The fact that you're watching this probably is proof that you're not the whole problem or most of the problem, but the reality is, to pretend that you didn't have growth to do as well isn't really healthy, because then you're always looking at the other person kind of down your nose, like, when are you going to get on my level? And as much as you don't want to say that's what you're doing, you have to ask yourself. You don't got to tell me, you don't have to admit it to anyone else, but please always check yourself and acknowledge that you might be doing that to your divine masculine. So what is it we needed to know about this coming into this, really getting to know our higher level selves? What is it that we needed to understand? Wow. This is about oh my gosh. Oh man. Okay, this is 2-1. We've seen 21 a lot. That's the world. And I'm thinking about the accomplishments, the things that we have to do where we have this kind of right brain, left brain balance. And what I feel like we've seen these two cards together before. And this message clicked for me before. And it was like, you had to get to know yourself and open up all these different levels, all these different aspects of who you are. It's like aligning your chakras, Kundalini awakening, like whatever, all the different things that people sense in their growth, in their shifting, in their awakening. If you did not have all these things unlocked, you would not be able to unlock your creativity. And what I see here is an individual who, think about like a singer, right? Or a poet, anyone who does like that kind of expression, even an actor. Think about what going through a painful experience does for their creativity. They can tap in. If you're an actor, you can tap into that moment. You can think back, okay, I need to cry on camera right now. So let me think back to that saddest moment of my life and then get in there, like, and dig in. You needed to learn all of that so that you could create these masterful works, these masterpieces. This was about self-mastery so that when it was time to pull out the big guns, you were ready. You were ready. Okay. So let's just focus on the DM here. Look at this. We start off with 11. We start off with choosing the right dream. Oh my gosh. Oh God. Oh my God. You know what I heard? I heard divine masculine. Oh my gosh, this reading is wild. I heard, do you want one thing or do you want it all? Do you want some things or do you want it all? Unfortunately, the divine masculine chose something else, someone else, somewhere else. Because they said, well, I could probably make this happen. You guys know my my Empress versus Three of Cups. You guys know I have my own relationship with the imagery of the tarot cards. And so it's just, I'm a storyteller, and I think it just happened when I was going and learning the cards. I would just kind of lay them out. And so I have all these weird things. I think it was like a massive, like, month-long download. I guess that's really what happened, because now I think about it and it's like, that is where I got all these stories, is I just laid them out and I saw things and it's stuck. But one of the things that I saw was the Three of Cups and the Empress. And I say sometimes in a good way that when you see the Three of Cups and the Empress is the whole, and the Three of Cups are when she breaks down into like three little fairies or wood nymphs or something, right? And she kind of, sends them off to do her bidding, and then she kind of can come back together, like to transform her or something. But on the opposite side, it's also to say that she could become disjointed. She could become, I don't know. There's just a frustration that can be there. And sometimes the divine masculine, rather than choosing the Empress, especially if she's not in a high enough vibration to draw him or her out of, their issues, he will choose the Three of Cups, meaning he will go out and find, 3 men, 3 women, or whatever, 3 jobs, right? Let me get a car, a motorcycle, and a little fishing boat. All of them I got to do work on, so I never have time for you. They will go and choose things that they think can make up the whole, but they will never really find their empress. And so what I just saw here was the divine masculine had to choose between two dreams. One dream, and again, not all of them are as physically inclined as we might think. Not all of them are out there doing the things you think they're doing, right? But they may still have a issue with self-indulgence. And so they may choose things that it's still kind of a dream to them, right? They know that they could have a dream life with you, but I think they also know that they're going to have to be held to a higher standard. And some of them are not down with that. So they'll choose to go another direction. They'll choose to say, well, let's focus on, let me get just like Mr. Lightwork did this when he had been in relationships most of his adult life, I mean. And then right before me, after his last ex, he decided that he was just going to have like a team of women. That way he never had to commit to anyone. They were all down because he told them up front. He didn't play with them. He just told them, like, I'm not interested in a relationship, but I like you and I'll spend time with you, when I've got the time, and blah, blah, blah. And so some of them will choose that because even though I think Mr. Lightwork's parents are married, like they've been married since before he was, well, I don't know about the married part, but they've been together since before he was born, basically, for a long time. And so it's like he's always grown up around love. And even though I think he wanted that the comfort of it, there was something about it that really vibed with him. He'd been hurt so many times, burned so many times. He just said, let me choose something else. Let me make it simple. And so even though it wasn't the dream, it was a dream. And these divine masculines chose a karmic because they knew that would not be something that would challenge them too much. It was easy. They wanted simple. That became the dream because complicated was ruining everything they were trying to do. But then again, bring it back. That's where they realized, okay, if I want simple, there's not going to be a challenge in it. Guess what? Then I'm not going to be able to live up to my full potential. And I'm definitely not going to get where I want to be financially. And that's where it's been hitting them this year. Because before the pandemic, they could figure it out. They could make it work. But now, with everything falling apart the way that it has and, blah, blah, blah. Oh my. So what's the message here? 6 of Swords. It's reversed. So I do see them making a that's silly, not to say a reversal, but it's like turning a ship around. But remember, think about how hard it is to turn a ship around and go back the other way you came. Okay, it's not as simple as just reversing a car and making a 3-point turn. All right, there's work involved in that. Okay, and so the divine masculine is turning the ship around. There may be a point where the divine masculine still has to drop off the karmic and the baby, whatever that might be. I hope it's not a real baby, of course. I'm thinking more along the lines of the spiritual baby they were creating, which most likely wasn't gonna come full term, and if it did, it, as crazy as this sounds, it probably wasn't going to be their kid, again, spiritually speaking. So just be aware that, yes, if there are delays and the ghosting, it's because you think they've been living their life. But what's really happening is a compounding of 2 divine issues they've been ignoring for too long. And the way that it comes out is as crazy as it comes out as conditional love. It comes out as, I just realized, as the divine masculine, I just realized that the only reason these people are with me, around me, support me, whatever, is because they want something from me. And I had one person who all they ever wanted to do was give me all they were. And the only thing they wanted from me was me. They didn't want what I had. They didn't want what I could offer them. They wanted me, for me. What have I done? I am so confused by the divine masculine sometimes, only because they do say that a lot. What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? And it's like, dude, fix it, okay? It's like, get up and do something about it. Stop stressing and sitting in your misery. But again, they've been in that kind of going the wrong way, going the wrong direction, trudging through against the grain, upstream, whatever you want to call it. They've been making life difficult for themselves for so long. They don't think to just get up, do some research, and go do their thing. That's why we saw the Seven of Cups twice. Look it up, figure it out, and then make a different move. So I'm not going to pull too many cards, but what I am going to do is for the next minute, okay, it's funny because it's 10:29, 111. Okay. I'm going to give you all an opportunity to ask a question. It cannot be a personal question. So if you ask a personal question and I ignore it, please don't type it 36 times. I will block you. You can ask a question that you believe will benefit the collective about separation, no contact, ghosting, karmic situations, third-party situations, marriage, all of that. I'm going to pull a few cards to answer that, and that will be what we do for this reading, okay? And I know I've never done that before, but I do believe that the collective that is present right now represents a good section, cross-section, if you will, of the whole. And I want to make sure that since I really don't tap into these situations as much, I tap in more to the divine feminine as a light worker and less of the divine feminine and the relationship dynamics and the twin flame categories. You guys know I do not like the labels. I use the labels for you guys just like I use the cards for you. I don't need labels or cards to help you with your situation. And most of the time, I'm talking people out of those understandings that they've gained from picking up 67 different readers explaining what they think this is. And so I want you to make sure that you really are prepared for this reading as well, because it's gonna get deep, okay? All right, so I'm going to get a couple messages out while you guys ask your question. They should be already in now, but this is it, all right? Again, if you ask a question about yourself personally and I don't answer it, please do not repeatedly ask it until I pay attention. I will ask that my mods block anyone who posts their question more than 3 times. Thank you. By the way, mods, thank you guys for being here. Members, thank you guys for being here. You guys are dope. I'm grateful for your energy. You guys are really anchoring, grounding. Thank you. Ooh. No, divinely guided. You were supposed to get the message from the Two of Wands. That was what that was about. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. All right. Okay. Ooh. Oh my gosh. All right, no more questions, please. No more questions, please. All righty. Ooh, that was a good one, Grace. Okay, all right, so. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. All right, Daddy. Okay, this is a good one. What do we need to know about how the eclipse energy is impacting the karmic or third-party situations. What do we need to know about how the eclipse energy, I mean, we're about to hit the peak of this season on Sunday. Shout out to all the Cancers in here. What? Happy birthday to us. What is it that we need to know about how the eclipse season is impacting the karmic relationships? But the real answer, or the real question, is about the divine masculine. So we want to know what that's doing, but the point of it is to understand why this particular situation is shifting the divine masculine finally forward for the better. So we need to understand what it is that the karmic is either doing, or why the energy was required to be gone through, all of that. So, okay. Part of me feels like I should like close my eyes because I'm drawn to two cards right now, but I think you know what? I think I should pick this. So the karmic situation was meant to actually make the divine masculine see who they really were, but in a way that provided rapid healing. So not seeing, okay, sometimes the divine masculine sees who they are in the moment, right? Like they look in the mirror and they go, what have I done? Because all they can see is their shame. This wasn't about shame. The karmic situation, of course, there is going to be some shame involved. There's going to be some third-party issues that on the 3D level really frustrate them, embarrass them, provide a lot of anxiety. But what's really happening is it was bringing forth a new path. This was the final chapter. It was the final tower. It was the situation that would bring about the tower because the karmic was there. And again, using your terms, not mine, guys. The karmic was there to ensure that the divine masculine made a whole bunch of dumb decisions. They had to make so many dumb decisions that there was no going back. So the reason why they're going to be different, and you're going to be like, I'm skeptical, but you do seem different. But what the heck happened to you? Have you ever met someone who had a near-death experience? Have you ever met someone who was running wild and then had a child? Have you ever met someone who they hit rock bottom so hard, and after that, they were just humble and beautiful, because it was as if all the things that maybe here and there you experienced that might have hurt you, they experienced all at once. And it crushed every last bone of their egoic body. This is the Chariot. This is the Cancer card. The fact that we pull the Chariot right a few days before that eclipse in Cancer, it's not an accident. The fact that the Cancer eclipse is about healing, and the Chariot has the healing symbol, the ambulance symbol, right? It's not an accident. This is rapid fire change, but it is going to be change where instead of looking in the mirror and being ashamed, they look in the mirror and they see that lion or they see that king and they go, oh my gosh, why am I here with this person? This person is not my person, because I am not the person I thought I was. I thought I was garbage. I thought I was trash. And when you put the divine masculine together with someone who is meant to be, again, a catalyst for change in their life, you better believe that person might not actually be toxic, hot garbage, whatever you want to call them, and be mad at them. That person might actually be a great person with the right person. Have you ever been with a friend who was a bad influence on you? Have you ever dated someone who had bad habits and you picked them up? Have you ever picked up traits from people that you know you didn't like? You knew they irritated you, and then you started doing it yourself? Oh my gosh. My ex-husband used to call things ya digs. And if you're from Chicago, please understand, he was very Chicago proud. I am not trying to give you a hard time, but I, being from Florida, was not down with the whole every single thing is the ya dig, okay? It's like saying that thing. What's that thing? What's that thing? What's that thing? It's that, the thingamabob where you can't name it, but everything was ya dig. Oh yeah, where's that you dig? You dig. I used to hate it, and then I started saying it. So I promise The person that you think is the karmic probably isn't who or what you think they are. But when your divine masculine and them get together, you better believe it's hellacious. You need to stop being so sure that your divine masculine's having a great time, because they're not. They were not meant to have a good time right now. They were meant to have tower moments that made everything fall apart so everything could come together. They were meant to experience the boosh, the bullshit. Okay, they were meant to experience that right now. And so things are really black and white for them. They really are. They've been trying to live in this blurred lines in the gray for so long. But then they went up and decided to either get with this person, stay with this person, push through in a relationship they weren't happy with. Oh, we're doing it for the kids. We're doing it for the money. We're doing it whatever. Your divine masculine made the choice to go that way, pursuing a dream rather than the dream. And the only way to get them to stop pursuing that was to shake it up so bad that the only way they could go was the right way, because they knew they're on their last legs. You ever had no gas in your car, so you go straight home? Or you go straight to the gas station, you don't stop anywhere, let me turn my AC on. Your AC's off, everything's off, windows down. You're like, all right, I just got to get to. That's where the divine masculine's about to be. They're going to be so afraid because of how far they allowed this situation to get and to go, that the only way they can go is the right direction now. This is why they had to go there. Because guess what? If they had settled, and that's what they thought it was going to be, if they had settled with you when they really weren't sure, then you would deal with what I dealt with when I first started dating Mr. Lightwork. The back and forth. But I kind of really wanted this other thing. I like you and you're perfect and you're my dream woman, but I don't know. No, you had to let them get to a point where they go, okay, I have no other option but here. I have no other option but this. And I know why would I want to be with someone where I'm just their only option? Excuse me. Do you know how stubborn you can be about stuff? And you know how divine does what divine does to get you to do what you need to do. So guess what? They're stubborn. They're ridiculous, just like you. Y'all are twins, remember? Stop doing that. Stop pretending that you guys are not twins when it's not convenient. Don't be oh, that's your son, that's your daughter. My parents used to love to do that. My parents were so toxic. That was my dad's favorite thing to do. Drop me off with my mom when I pissed him off. Though that's, yeah, you your mother's daughter. No, that's not funny. I'm actually just like you, but okay. You see, don't do that. Be real with who you are. Be real with the fact that you needed this energy just as much, because guess what? This is the 5D deck. So this is what happened. But now let's get some understanding real quick about what happened in the 3D. What was this meant to shift for them in the 3D?
Whoa. Get. Oh, I ruined it. Oh, no.
It was meant to get them to see the truth, to come to the conclusion on their own that they're in freaking love with you. Because all they can do is think about you. All they ever wanted is you. All I want is you. Who's that, Miguel? I used to love that song. Oh my gosh, I used to love that song. All I'm trying to say is, if they had not have gone through this, and you guys had gotten together when you met or whatever the situation is, they never would have realized how much they love you. I know it stinks because it's like, really? They have to go and be hard-headed? Yes, they do. But they will never regret being with you now, because they know. They know. All right. Okay, now, what about, I saw this question here. Where is that question? Yes. How do I phrase this though? This isn't the right phrasing. Oh man. All right, okay. This is so hard. Okay. I guess the way that we can say this is, what can we be doing in the 5D. Because again, this is separation, no contact, no communication, ghosting. This is you guys are the ones where you're going to hear from readers saying, don't call them, don't contact them, because either they might respond and then ghost you again and your feelings are going to get hurt. They might snap on you because they're clearly going through something that's meant to, bring them out of the darkness into the light. Whatever. There's all kinds of ways that they could respond. And so this is where, for the most part, I agree. Don't leave them alone. Remember, you guys, I hung out with dudes my whole life. They do not like those long text messages. That it's like they don't even care what it says. Even when it's positive and you're telling them you love them, if you don't know dudes, let me just tell you right now, the moment they see a paragraph, the world has ended. It's just how they are. They love to just be like, look, bro, look at this. And they'll scroll. I'm just telling you, it's always been like that. Since the invention of freaking text messages, they don't want you calling them all the time, especially if they haven't called you back since the last time you called. And so if that's where you've been, I'm just telling you right now. So the question here is, in the 5D, what can we be doing as a collective to support them? What can we be doing as individuals? How can we band together as divine feminines to assist people, even though we can't talk to them? We can't say to them, I think we're twin flames. We can't say to them, I know that you are more than who you think you are and how you respond and react to life. I know you're better than this. You can't say that. You can't say what you need to say. But maybe you can vibe how you need to vibe. Maybe you can manifest in your own life the things that are going to be required so that, in the mirror, right, through time and space in the cosmos, because remember, in the heavenly realm, it's right here. This is you guys on earth. You see there's no eyes in these eyeballs here, though. That's because this is you in heaven. In the heavenly realm, you are this one being. And this person is operating you like a video game, dual screen. This is you too. And so the question here, how can we do what we need to do as individuals in the collective and then again on a whole scale? Okay. Wow. Okay. Do you see this and this? Do you see the sword and the scales? So this right here says, first and foremost, before you reach out in the 3D, realize that you might plant seeds on what is that called? Infertile ground? I don't know. You might plant seeds in ground that will not take. So watch what you say. You don't want to be the one that says, oh, I think we're twin flames when this person has told you, don't contact me. Because now you just told them, don't contact you, but I don't care what you say. I'm crazy. That's what you said, basically, when you kept going. And so what we see here is, first and foremost, watch what you're saying, but also watch what you're thinking. You need to weigh every single thing out. You need to weigh every single thing out. Weigh it, measure it properly. Because even the things that you're thinking, they're impacting your vibration, which is impacting their vibration, which is impacting their ability to move forward. And it's impacting your ability to move forward. How many of you feel stuck right now? How many of you feel stagnant? How many of you feel like things have not moved? Well, guess what? If you decide that until things move, until you feel like the momentum is there, that you're just not going to do anything, you don't think that's impacting your counterpart at all? I don't understand. I don't get it. How is it that you can believe something in the 5D, but the moment you get mad in the 3D, you basically just cut out all that good work you've done? And so the question here is, are you focusing on your light worker? Are you allowing your inner feminine to guide your inner masculine? Because all that chasing you do, that's your inner masculine. All that when you lash out, that's your inner protective mode. You're scared for them when you freak out on them. You're scared for them. You want so badly for them to do what you believe is the right thing, which is be with you right now. And that fear comes across as well. You don't think you're making them afraid? So all of this is saying, listen, take a moment and make sure that you are not putting any injustice type of energy into your situation, and you're not doing any harm to your dynamic. Again, you can't really like change your date of union. Again, you guys know I believe preordained, I believe pre-written, I believe union guaranteed in this lifetime. So again, if you don't, take that as you will. But you can't mess it up, but you sure can be miserable the whole way through. And you sure can make that first moment when you guys get back together really, really challenging and difficult, because you've been spending all this time being mad, being skeptical. So what you can do as a collective, you know what this card is? This is the card of the light worker. This is the card of the twin flame. This is 11. This is what we came here to do, people. We came here to bring faith, to raise the entire vibration of the planet. This is a card of high vibrations. Do you understand that? If you want to be a master builder with your divine masculine, you better be a full-on 11 when you talking about I'm ready for union. Because there's going to be a point where they slide from wherever they're at on that scale of 1 to 11 all the way back here, or even maybe at 10. They're going to be 11 all of a sudden, and they're ready to build with you, and you're not there because you're back here saying, I'm waiting on them. Come on. The hardest part about being in no contact or separation, any kind of anything where you can't see them or know what's up on their day to day. Oh, my. You really assume a lot of things. And if you watch too many different readers, there's nothing wrong with what, like, I don't think you should only watch me. Only watch me. I'm Fiery Grace. I'm the best. But you better make sure you're not watching them toxic people just because they make you feel good. You better, you know what I mean? You better make sure that you're not watching 67, some good, some bad, blah, blah, blah. Why does that number keep coming up? 13, because it's death. I'm serious. Bring justice. This is about transmutation. This is about higher level spirituality. This is about illumination. This is your inner wisdom coming forth and into fruition. This is great power comes with great responsibility, and you better start acting like you know what's up. How will this impact them? If you decide to stand and say, you know what, I'm going to do what I have to do. I believe this is real. I have to be who I need to be. And, you know, I see someone who's saying, oh, I disagree. I haven't spent all this time being mad or watching. Listen, what I tell people all the time is, if you really don't have a guilty conscience, you would know I wasn't talking about you. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel the need to defend yourself, you need to ask yourself why. Not every general reading, every part of it is going to be for you. If this was a personal, you can disagree all you want, but just be real. Those of you who feel like you're being attacked, maybe you're getting triggered for a reason. Seriously. But anyways, this is your job right now. You want to know what you can do for your divine masculine? Get your head right. Get your head in the game. It's going to trigger them. This right here is you being divinely aligned. This right here is you being ready for the energetic blows that come. Because this is you saying, you know what? Whatever happens, I'm going to be seated in myself, right? The seat of self. I'm going to be here knowing exactly what needs to be done in the moment, so that when stuff hits me and freaks me out and scares me and worries me, let me ask you a question. When was the last time you felt a pang of regret in your gut? When was the last time you felt in your stomach that union was never going to happen for you? You don't think your DM felt that? You ever felt those moments? You guys say all the time, you talk telepathically with your divine masculine. You don't think they feel the same? It's confusing for me. Again, sometimes I feel like you guys have to make sure that you think about what it is you believe and ask yourself what it would mean on the other side. Because if you believe you communicate telepathically, please don't think it's just when you want to. If you believe that you can feel their energy, why would you deny that they can't feel you? I don't understand. You should know that. So this is also being aware of who you are, aware of what your faith, but also what your doubt can do. This is you being aware of your power. The Supreme Court. You are one of the most powerful beings on the planet. And you think that your mood swings aren't impacting your divine counterpart, who is literally your other half. Illogical. Be logical. Be sure. And do not allow anything to knock you off this seat, to knock you out of this place, to knock your crown off your head. Look at the crown. What color is that stone? That's an emerald. We've got green. Do you understand? We've got the heart chakra. This is love and logic on the brain. This is being the best that we can be. So divine feminines, you want to know what you can do for your counterpart? You want to know how you can support them in the 5D? Be your highest level self as often as you possibly can. I understand maybe not at all times is possible for some right now, especially when you're missing someone. I get it. Especially when you're in pain, you're frustrated. They come in, they go out. I get it. I challenge you to still be better. I challenge you to recognize that you're a light worker. I challenge you to understand that you cannot allow yourself to constantly be slipping back and forth all the time and then say, oh, I'm the queen, I'm the empress, I'm so strong. Listen, that's great if you're manifesting and you're just trying to get yourself better. But if you don't actually believe that all the time, then you're just talking to be a part of something. You're just saying words that sound good. You need to check yourself, because your divine masculine, a lot of their growth is tied to you, whether you want to. And again, some of you, when I say it and you don't want to agree with it, but then you're going to tell me later, if I say something that you do like, that you do agree with it. Y'all don't think I read your comments? You don't think I watch my videos and read the chats? I know you guys. Some of you are on point. Some of you are new to it. And there's people in between. I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad, but I am going to be real with you. And that's why you're here. It's why you're still watching now. So next question. Oh, wow. Should I step in? When it comes to this third party situation, should I speak up? When it comes to the karmic, do I warn my masculine? Should I tell them we're twin flames? This is going to answer a lot of questions about what needs to be communicated. Okay, this is still here, but we're talking about the sword and the scales. Four of Wands. It says not until the portal has opened for it, which means you'll know when you're supposed to do it. If you constantly go back and forth with it, probably not the time. If it weighs on you and sits on you, let me tell you something about this. Let me tell you something about, first of all, that's 11, 11, 11. And I just said to you, you need to be ready to be the master builder. And you know there's 11, 11. Come on, God. You know what? See, people don't want to believe me. And then stuff comes out and they're like, oh no, but I want that card to be mine too. Dang it. I have a client. I mean, she's not even a client anymore. I told you guys, I don't do lifelong clients. That sounds crazy to me. I'm not a Western medical doctor. No offense to doctors, y'all are dope, but you guys got to follow that protocol of Western medicine. And I can't agree with that. I'm not giving you pills. I want to teach you what you need to do to make yourself healthy. So guess what? I had a client, worked with for about a year. And we went through and through and through, and we kept getting these messages not to say a word, let him go through his thing, don't mess anything up, don't interrupt the process, he's healing. And then one day, flat out, it just came out of nowhere. And I said, girl, I think you have to send him a message. She said, okay, I'm gonna pray, I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna see okay, cool. About a week goes by, she sends him a video message about the fact that it's like 1 minute long. She says, I will always love you. I will always be here for you. It took months for him to respond, but they have been in union now for quite some time. They have a joint checking account. They have a life together. He buys her beautiful gifts that tells her, you're my sunshine. They are completely and utterly in love. They were in separation for a year. Do you understand? You will know when you need to say what needs to be said. It will just come to you in the moment. But you have to make sure that you don't just say, oh, this is my message. Yep, I felt it. So there's my confirmation. No, don't stop doing that. What did my client do? She said, Grace, I'm going to pray about it. Well, she said, I don't remember. She said like meditate. Her point was she was going to take a moment to talk to her guides. You need to make sure that you're sure. But that is what they need in the 3D. That is what they need. They need you to know when. But if you don't know yourself, if you're all over the place, if you're more worried about personal justice than you are about the grand scheme, you will continuously mess this up. If you continue to be so worried about union, so relationship minded that you are no light worker good, child. All right, so we'll move on. Whew, I can feel y'all. Please, those of you who are hearing this and are feeling this, you see there's a lot of anger. You see why I don't talk about this stuff? Because it draws in people who just, they don't want to hear it. They just want me to tell them when they're getting into union. So thank you. If you're here, just send me a little love right now. Reach your hand out to your phone. Give me some kisses. Just send it, because I'm getting pulled down and I gotta stand up. I have to stand my ground on this, because this is your message, whether you want it or not. If you're still here listening, even though you're like, no, no, no. Well, here you are getting triggered, and you're still here for a reason. That's right. This is for you. So, next thing. Why has the divine masculine been out of alignment for so long? Why can't they see what's wrong? Why can't they see who they are? Why can't they understand that they're going the wrong direction? I mean, clearly they feel it. They notice it. Why won't they change? Remember, we're talking 5D. This means there's a reason it was ordained. All right. It takes us back to the original point of the message, because they would never do what they were meant to do. They would never heal how they were meant to heal, and they would never see the true path without it. They had to hit their rock bottom. And if you choose to be so focused on their energy, guess where you're going to go to? You want to know why you've been so stressed? Again, if you're not stressed, this message that I'm saying at this moment isn't for you. But those of you who are stressed, those of you who are worried, those of you who have spent months or even years in this dump of energy, it's because you're going through their journey with them and you didn't even have to. It was not a requirement for you. You were meant to be living a beautiful life and building your empire and getting things ready for them and preparing the house and learning all the things that you would need to learn to be perfect for them, because they're out learning everything they need to know to be perfect for you right now. Man, you don't believe me. I know there are some of you out there right now who think I'm crazy. I feel bad for you. Because if you doubt me and you're sitting here listening and wasting your time listening to someone you don't even believe, I wonder how much time you waste any other time. Come on, think about that. Did you need to be in this pain? Ask yourself really truthfully right now. You don't have to answer, but just ask yourself. Did I need to be miserable for when I was miserable? Even if you're not now, but if you've been in some like low points, ask yourself, was the rest of your life bad, or was it just about the DM? Because look, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, my life was horrible when I met Mr. Lightwork. I was making it beautiful. I was making it better. I was finding my joy, but everything around me had fallen apart. I just got divorced. I moved across the country. I shipped my car. It exploded, and it exploded like 14 cars on the thing. The whatever that's called, the truck that was shipping, it destroyed all the cars, and I had to pay, let's leave that alone. But I was supposed to pay $8,000 for that car, and then I got another car, and I had to pay for that car, and I couldn't afford that car. I was miserable. I had the first time I had my lights turn off. I've never had my electricity go off. I hit rock bottom. It was awful. I know there are some of you who your life really does suck. And you know what I did at that time? I used Mr. Lightwork as it wasn't even a project. It was like he was my distraction. I understand there are some of you out there who legitimately your life is tough right now. You're going through your own thing. I get it. But there are some of you who your life is fantastic, except for this, which kind of makes it worse for you because you're like, I want my good life. Everything else is good. Why can't he just figure it out? I'm over here waiting with this good life. I'm over here waiting. She ain't gonna. I get it. I'm feel you. I'm with you. I love you. I love you enough to sit here and talk about something I don't want to talk about because you guys, I have been a life coach. I've been studying psychology since I was in middle school. You don't think that I'm aware that people don't want to hear the truth or people don't want to hear anything that goes against what they want to believe? I'm fully aware, people. You know I know when I talk about this stuff, I'm going to get backlash. I'm not stupid. I know what's up. I do it anyways because I freaking love you. I love you guys. You guys made my life what it is today simply by saying, Grace, your light, your gifting, oh, it's everything. I need this right in this moment. And I was like, oh my gosh, people need me. I feel you. Who needs you? And who have you been ignoring because you've been worried about this person? What about your life has fallen apart simply because you didn't fix it? You focused on something else that seemed easier at the time. How many of you are using your divine counterpart as a distraction instead of cleaning up your mess? You want to know when my life really turned around? The day I don't know what happened, but literally within the course of a week at the beginning of 2019, Mr. Lightwork, I told you guys this story before. I was like, we're over, we're over. We were in pseudo union at the time. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm losing my mind. I'm getting stressed. And you know what? I started my YouTube channel. How can I be someone who's out here, talking about twin flames and doing certain things and blah, blah, blah. And I am not even able to be that person. I can't do this. I took a week and I finally said, Mr. Lightwork, listen, like, I love you, like who you are and everything about you. Like, I know that you are for me, but you got to go. I said, my real person, the person that I know is there, that I talk to all the time and experience all the time, that person can stay. But this ego, whatever, that's got to go. That was the day Mr. Lightwork asked me out. I wasn't giving him an ultimatum. I thought I was giving him his freedom. I thought I was giving him the chance to be who he wanted to be. And it was finally when I took that week to just detach. That's why it took me a week to say that, because I was like, oh my gosh, whew. Whoo, child. He gonna be gone. I know he gonna leave. I know the moment I tell him that, it wasn't even like I said I wanted a relationship. I assumed he was gonna say no. I was just letting him know that it was over. That was the day. We've been together ever since. When I tell you, when you take yourself out of their mess, when you take yourself out of the distraction, when you relieve the heartache and you start to work on yourself and your life, it happens like that. You know why they never talk about it in the chat? Because guess what? People stop watching readings when they're in union. That's why they're not here. The only time they show up is when they're in union and it's not going well. Maybe they pop in for the first couple weeks when they're in union, but afterwards they have no need for these messages. So the reason you don't know that it's happening all around you is because they're living their best life. So why don't you go do that? They say wear the outfit, dress like you want, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Act like you're in union, please. Please. Because if you get caught up in this pain, in this misery, oh my gosh. So what is it that we need to understand about what we do in the 5D and the 3D that will impact the divine masculine's growth and healing? What do we need to understand about this? How are we actually impacting their 3D when we decide to be the best, to be our best selves and to go be on our parallel journey? What happens? 3 of Wands in reverse. Look, divine intervention. See, this is the problem. You keep trying to intervene. You keep trying to intervene. And the problem is, when you intervene and you focus on the divine masculine, it's the devil card. Think about the devil card. The devil's standing there like, ha, gotcha. Got a flame up under the divine masculine, freaking him out, making him all hot and worried. And oh my gosh, I'm scared, I'm freaking out. Oh, I'm in hell, I don't know what's going on. Divine feminine's arms crossed, looking out at the world like, this is some bull. I don't even, look at this. He's just sitting here with these chains. When are you going to save me? Oh, this is ridiculous. And the devil just sitting there. Because I don't even know if the couple on the devil card even knows the devil has done this to them. Divine masculine looking like what up. Oh, it's just terrible. But think about the lovers. The DM is looking at the DF like, wow, look at all that fruit. You're amazing. Proverbs 31. Divine feminine's looking at divine like, oh, divine, what do you need from me now? And divine's looking at divine masculine like, all right, keep your eyes on the prize. She knows what I'm doing. I'm watching you to make sure I don't need to, Who, even in the Bible, whether you believe in it or not, just think about it as folklore if you don't, whatever. But who did God talk to? God didn't ask Eve what was going on. God said, Adam, where are you? What's going on here? So look, you are helping the divine masculine when you focus on yourself by taking your hands off. Laissez-faire. Is that the right way to say it? Take your hands off, okay? Go ahead and just be like, I'm done interfering. I'm done messing with this. You know what I did? You know what I did before me and Mr. LightWork got together when we were in pseudo union and I was miserable? I told him, you know what? I want to be with you anyways because I know you're going to mess with other girls. You've been messing with other girls the whole time we've been together-ish, messing around, whatever you want to call it. So fine. All I want to do is I just want to be the one that knows everything. Y'all, I did not ask him. One day I was trying to like get into his phone for some reason and he just grabbed my thumb. I didn't have an iPhone at the time. I didn't know you could do this. Went into his thumbprint thing and put my thumbprint on his phone. I still have it to this day. My thumb still fits because he has two phones, his other phone. He did that. I did not ask for that. He did that a week or two after I told him I want to be with you, even if I can't be with you the way that I want to be with you. But guess what? Since I lowered myself and decided to go on that journey with him, he was like, okay, cool. I'm going to keep going on this journey then. See, I got to interfere in the 3D. Some of you, the reason why you're not allowed to be around them is because you would do the same thing. You would put up with their nonsense and keep getting hurt and keep being mad and end up watching tarot videos anyways, trying to get the message that you need. When I finally told Mr. Lightwork, look, sir, I love you, but this ego guy gotta go. My real DM can stay. Guess what? That was when Mr. Lightwork, you know what he said to me like 2 weeks later? We were driving to go eat in Ybor. And he goes, I said, yeah, something about the phone plan. And I was like, well, it would probably be better because I think he wanted a new phone. I needed a new phone because my phone plan was up. I was month to month. And I said, we would save money if we did a family plan. But, I know that that's really permanent and I don't want to. He stopped me and he's like, I don't have time for this no more. We're going to get a family plan together. And we did. It was like, he said to me, he doesn't have time anymore out of nowhere. He has been growing ever since. He has been getting deeper. He has been getting stronger. He is incredible. And he's so different than how he used to be, but he is deeper into himself. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. You see, when I was letting him and I got on the journey with him and then say, yeah, this is cool. Well, then he started lollygagging on the journey. Okay, cool. But when I said, you know what? I got to focus on me. And I threw myself into my light work and I threw myself into you, basically, into the collective. And I said, what do you need from me? I will give you my heart and soul, not my soul, but you know what I'm saying? I will give you my all. This is my purpose. I will lay down my life for you. Y'all don't think I've been doing that? Do you understand? I don't get much sleep. People used to ask me when I sleep. I just told y'all I didn't sleep last night. I couldn't fall asleep because I had too many readings. I could not let myself go to bed because there were people who needed me. Y'all, I gave up my freedom for you. Not out of guilt. I'm not trying to guilt you. I'm telling you, this was what I needed to expand my soul. Your constituents are waiting for you. The people who you were put here to help are waiting for you. And you're over here on your divine masculine's journey, slowing them down. I'm just, when you allow yourself to release the need to do all of this, then divine can intervene. Divine can whisper in their ear. See, if you're always contacting them, then guess what? Every time they think of you, it's going to be a negative trigger, automatic. Oh God, here she goes with all these text messages. Why is she calling? Why does she add me back on Facebook? I blocked her for a reason. Why? Whatever. But when they don't hear from you, when you don't press them, when you don't rush them, when you just living your best life, you don't think they're thinking about you? You don't think they're like, oh, why didn't she call? Why didn't he call me? Where is he? Come on. The moment you step away, when divine whispers in their ear and says, why haven't you called her? They think to themselves, why haven't I called? I missed her. He always made me feel good. They make me smile. Why? I should call him because I'm upset today. You know what? I need to hear your voice. Have you ever heard them say that to you and then ghost you? I just needed to hear your voice. And then you freak out. Oh my gosh, how could you come into my life and say something like that to me and then ghost me again? Do you understand what you're doing to me? It's like they don't think about you the way that you think they think about you because they're not thinking about you like you think about them. You're projecting. When they hit you up and they need to talk to you, it's because they need to talk to you, not because they're trying to hurt you. And when they ghost you again, it was because they needed to hear your voice. They told you exactly what they needed. Y'all have got to start to give them some grace because I know you're frustrated. I know they hurt you because you're still all in your mind and you're not allowing yourself to move forward and not be so worried about them. When you change that perspective, you change the energy. And when you're not always there with negative, because that's how they appear, or that's how it appears to them. I don't know why, it's just that's how they take it. They've decided to take it that way. When you over there pressing and messing, anytime divine brings them to your mind, they see signs and syncs too. Mr. Lightwork, when I first told him about it, he used to send them to me constantly. You guys, we see them constantly today. I turned to him and said, hey, babe, the Supreme Court upheld DACA. He was like, okay, cool. I was sitting on the computer doing some work. The TV comes on. It was like transitioning from one show to another. And the title was Immigration Song. Within 5 seconds of me saying something about it, because he's not a citizen. He's been here since he was 3, but he's not a citizen. So that was important to know. Yeah. Right then, he sees them all the time. They don't necessarily think to text you or call you or freak out or look it up, but they think about you constantly. But you do not want to be the thing that when they think about you, they push you out of their mind because you keep triggering them into negatively thinking about you. Okay? All right. Let's keep going. Oh, I just heard a very... You know what's funny? I started scrolling, and as I started scrolling, I saw the message that just came through. All right, this may not apply to everybody, okay? But this is going to be. If I am in any situation at all, but especially a situation where there is a third party or I'm the third party or whatever, is it okay for me to be intimate with my divine counterpart? Is it okay for me to... Since I basically believe we're already in a relationship, you know, we're twin flames. So Mr. Lightwork always says, once someone thinks that they're twin flames, in their mind, they're already married. Okay. So if that's my truth, is it okay for me to be physically intimate? Is it okay for me to hang out with them? Because, you know, sometimes cheating isn't just, we're having sex. Sometimes cheating is mental, right? Just a kiss on the cheek or a hug that's too long or what, you know what I'm talking about? Or again, spending emotional time, texting all the time. Because some of you, you're in contact. So that's not really the problem. The problem is the third party. Or again, the problem is maybe even you're married or something like that. Again, I personally, and I say this because I want to make sure that you know my heart. You know, if you're my client, you know I don't judge you. Tell me your whole story. I was with my man while he was out there messing with 4 or 5 other girls. Again, it wasn't really like that. It was only for like a couple of months or not a couple months, but a few weeks really that the agreement stood. And I think he actually did still do it. But after that, he moved in with me and he felt strange living with me and then sleeping with other people. So that's where I said I couldn't do it anymore when we finally got together, because it was just the pressure. Even though he wasn't cheating or sleeping around or whatever you would call it, I just felt the pressure. So I'm not judging you at all for anything you do, because it's not my job, buddy. Alrighty. But at the same time, let's say at the same time, I'm also not going to sit here and harp on here's what's up with the karmic. I'm not doing that because it's not healthy for you. And guess what? You can go get it from 50 other readers if that's what you really want. But here I will say, let's talk about it. Is it okay? Let's go here. Hold that cookie tight, child. Hold it tight. Don't give it to him. Hold it tight and don't give it to him. No, don't you give him that. Why? What is it? Why milk the cow if What is it? Because when you can have the milk. Wait, why? Why buy the cow when you can have the milk for free? Hold that cookie tight. I don't care if you are masculine or wait. I don't care if you male, female, or I need to figure out what do I say? Other? What is that? Is that offensive if I'm like male, female, or other? Or is it, it's not offensive because I'm acknowledging it? Whatever. The point is, I'm still learning, working on my pronouns and stuff, y'all. I'm getting good. I'm getting real good. But anyways, my point is, whoever you is, hold that cookie tight. I don't care if you got a cookie or not. Hold it. Please. I know that right there might not be what a lot of you guys want to hear. Oh, Ivory baby, if it's happened already, that is not, you didn't get this message, but now you did get this message and you can't unhear it. Ha ha. That's why I know a lot of people are clicking off like, no, don't tell me. No. But I'm going to tell you something. This is not just telling you to hold the cookie tight. This is also saying, listen, your divine masculine will continue to hold back from you when they know they don't have to give you anything in order to get from you. Do you understand? I see someone say, oh, they're far. Well, guess what? Phone sex and sexting are things, guys. They are. There is all kinds of ways to be intimate. What did I just say? Sometimes it's just having a conversation, too long of a text conversation. Some of you, your divine masculine is using you when they're bored or when they're mad at their partner. They are taking advantage of you. Again, I don't think that means that every single one of them is like, I am an evil mastermind coming to ruin your life. That's not what's happening. They're simply saying, listen, I like you. You're cool. And I like having my cake and eating it too. So thanks for the cookie. Thanks for the cake. Thanks for the cookie cake. Great American Cookie Company. Plug. Sponsorship. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I really think it's important for you to see that. Giving that to them, giving them intimacy, giving them friendship, I think that's beautiful. Giving them, and guess what? Before me and Mr. Lightwork engaged in anything like as deep as we went, when I finally said, fine, let's do this, let's do this your way, we did. We tried it his way. Well, before that, we were basically friends. And I feel there is a way to be friendly and there's a way to be intimate, and there's a difference. You have to get better at being someone's, how would I say this? You have to get better at being someone's everything without giving them everything in the moment. I'm for real. I feel like if you know that the only reason they hit you up is for sex, you already knew this was coming. You've known for a long time to stop doing that. If you feel like they only hit you up when they're bored, some of you guys have friends like that you should not be giving the time of day. Those should not be your friends, but we all have our lessons to learn. So if you know that there are people who do that, who just call you, my dad oh my gosh, my dad was the worst at that. My sister took that from him too. I call people when I'm on like walks and stuff because I know it's a point where I can actually talk, and I don't really like talking on the phone. So it's actually like good for me to be able to talk to my friends and communicate that way. But my dad and my sister, they would call when they were like driving from one place to another, and they would just like talk. And then right when I would be like, oh yeah, so, they'd be like, oh, what's going on with you? But they're doing it like as they're parking, and they're like, oh, hey, I gotta go. And they go, bye. And you're like, oh, so you just used me because you were bored. Great. You guys know what I'm talking about. Don't let your DM do that to you. Please don't, because that unfortunately is going to lower their level of respect for you. Okay? Just make sure that you're not giving it all away. And it doesn't just necessarily have to mean the intimacy, but like physical intimacy. Just make sure that you're not giving them things that, you know what? They need to realize they're not going to get from their karmic partner. And if you keep giving it to them, then guess what? They have exactly what they wanted. I told you that, I can't remember, but somewhere in here I said, was it here? They're going out and saying, okay, I don't want the dream, I want a dream. You know what a dream is for me? I get to have you, and I get to have this person over here. And whenever I call you, you answer, you're ready to go, you're so sweet, you're blissful. And then I can disappear, and guess what? You know what it is. You know what you signed up for. You know that we're not together, blah, 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 blah. Have you ever had him snap on you like that? Mr. Lightwork tried that with me like 2 or 3 times. It would only be when he got mad like really mad. And he'd be like, oh, you know what you signed up for. I'd be like, this is not what I signed up for. When I told you that I wanted to see you more frequently, I did not expect you to start acting like my boyfriend, because that's what he did. I thought I was just going to see him maybe 2 or 3 more times, like 2 or 3 times a week rather than like once or twice or maybe once a week. No, he was over all the time, even when I didn't ask him. I think it's because I gave him a key and he already felt like he was home here, and that just killed it. Again, be cautious, because you may be encouraging them in their dark night, encouraging them to do the wrong things. So what will denying them, unfortunately, what will making sure that they have to experience the lack of, it sounds so mean too, but don't feel guilty, because that's not your man, that's not your woman. You know what I'm saying? That's not your person in the 3D at the moment, just because they are your 5D. What is it that denying them having their cake and eating it too is going to do for them in the 3D? How does this actually help them move forward? Boy, I feel like it's under here. Hold on. Stops them in their tracks. What did I think? Or what did I say earlier? They're a ship, right? And sometimes you guys are 2 ships passing in the night because you keep trying to get their attention to get them to come this way. And they're like, hey, what's up? Oh, nope, going this way now. Ha, ha, ha. What's going on, DOK? I'm out of here. Bye. You taking this away, and look at that. That's 10 energy. That completes their cycle. Again, you know what I'm getting from this? Divine Feminine, you trying to be so involved in their growth, you just messing it up because you don't know what you're doing. I'm not saying you don't know what you're doing for yourself. Oh, you absolutely know what to do for yourself. And if you don't, Divine will tell you. But it is not always a guarantee that just because you ask, that Divine is going to tell you what you need to do just because you want to be in union. You can even say, but I have the highest of intentions. You know, I want to get into union so we can start our mission. Well, why would Divine trust you with your full mission if you're not even going to do your half of the mission by yourself? I don't understand. Why would you think that? So deny them this, it's going to stop them in their tracks. The moment you stop calling, the moment you stop texting, and the moment you stop giving up your freedom, your life, and everything, the moment they call, the moment you make them wait, the moment you don't text them back, the moment you play their stupid game with them. Don't play games with them when they're your partner. But the moment you play those silly little games that they be playing, and the moment you go along with it and say, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. All right, well, it's not what I want to do. I would love to love you unconditionally. But you know what? Since your problem here has been not really recognizing unconditional love, I'm going to allow you to experience that lack until you realize the only place you're going to get what you really need is from me. And you're not going to get it from me now and have that other person fulfilling things that I'm supposed to be doing, because then you're also not going to know my true worth. Gotta hold back. Gotta hold back. Hold back. Stop them in their traps. All right. Okay. I didn't even say it right. All right. All right. Final question. All right. I know there's a question in here. I was gonna say I'm gonna ask my own question, but nope. I'm supposed to actually. Oh crap. Farther back. Farther back. Oh my gosh. You guys are chatting it up tonight. Okay. Sorry. Almost there. Okay. Here we go. Ooh. Thank you, thank you, thank you, precious. What lessons do the divine masculines and divine feminines, this is 5D, this is both counterparts, what lessons do these counterparts have to learn before this phase, this cycle can end? What do they have to learn? I'm sorry. Well, Do you guys need me to answer this? Okay, I guess let me stop being ridiculous. I'll stop being difficult because I understand now that not everyone knows what this card means. Ten of Swords, the end of a difficult or challenging situation. Ten of Swords, the ego death. A lot of readers mean well. They really do. But all they do is feed your ego. You want to know how I know that? Because of the number of complaints that I get. And then the same people who complained come back around and they say, Grace, thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for continuing to do these messages, even though people like me gave you a hard time for them. I was in my ego. I was in my ego. I was in my ego. I was more worried about the divine masculine choosing me over the karmic. I was more worried about, what it meant that they weren't ready for me yet, rather than acknowledging that they clearly, because I'm obviously aware of this, clearly have more work to do. Divine masculine, we already know the answer for them. This right here, we already know. We understand that they have to go through their ego death. How many times do I have to tell you that they're going to go through rock bottom and you don't need to go along with them? You've already been through, in many cases, you've already been through your rock bottom. You don't have to do that again, okay? But you may still have some things that either got added on, okay? You're going to have issues with your ego throughout your lifetime. Your job is to always be aware so that they don't become big problems and they don't become debilitating and detrimental to everything that you're doing. So you need to say, all right, what's my problem? Where am I acting in my ego? Why don't you Google what are ego traps? YouTube search it. What does the ego, or how can the ego cause problems on the twin flame journey? Like whatever. Just start searching, because if you can't see it in yourself, that doesn't mean there's not a problem. Again, it's not to give you a hard time. It's simply to say you're going to learn the lesson regardless of if you're aware. But the more aware you are, the more quickly you can learn it to not have to repeat the cycle. This to me is the end of all negative cycles. This is decades of problems or, multiple karmic issues or whatever. This is all these things having to end. This is you and your divine counterpart being able to come to each other both humbled. And if you keep getting all puffed up and angry, I'm doing my thing. Why can't my masculine just get it together? You better be glad you're divine masculine. In fact, I will admit there are some divine masculines who they think they're the divine feminine because these messages resonate, but then they realize they're divine masculine. And it's just that there are some of the rare DMs that it's kind of reversed. And I feel bad because if you were the divine masculine and you had already gone through your awakening, do you think that it would be kind and loving and protective and nurturing or any of those kinds of things to judge your divine feminine for the fact that they aren't where you are yet? You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't do that with people. You shouldn't do that with, friends, family, people around you in your life. And you definitely shouldn't do it with your counterpart. So give it up. Give it up, because you may not want to acknowledge it, because then that means in your mind, oh no, if I still have lessons to work on, that must mean I'm not ready for union, and that terrifies you. That's not always the case. Mr. Lightwork and I got into union when we both had growth to do. Readers will make you feel bad and tell you you're not doing enough manifesting, you're not doing a good job, whatever. I get it. Even in generals, when I'm doing it, some people will take things the wrong way or things that clearly weren't meant for them, but they're so out of their intuition, out of their 5D and in the 3D and the fear and the worries and is it my twin? Is it not my twin? He ain't there's no way he could be my twin. Oh, she's there. And it's like, come on. Figure this out for yourself. Figure out what you might be doing, or figure out if you've basically been mirroring your divine masculine, getting in their bad habits and their bad ego issues that aren't even yours. You just picking them up like bad habits. Remember the you dig thing? Just picking things up that you don't even like. Whew. What's the final lesson? 10 of Swords. The final lesson for both is that the ego never wins, that love conquers all, and that logic can beat the ego. The ego will try to twist it, but it's not real logic. It's twisted logic that comes from ignorance, from not knowing. If you know truth, wisdom, right? If you have knowledge, wisdom, understanding, you're able to fight back against the ego that tries to trap you and trick you. And it's like a genie that gives you those screwed up wishes. And you're like, that's not what I said. And it was like, but that's what you said. The ego likes to mess with you. So what is it that we need to understand about how this is going to impact this divine masculine in the 3D? We already know for divine feminines, it's just getting us ready for union. It's making sure that we, have whatever awakenings we need to have, blah, blah, blah. But how is this in the 3D really specifically impacting the divine masculine? I want this bottom card. What's over here? Look at the 6 of Swords in reverse. Remember when we saw this? The ego death makes them turn the ship around. This is freaking wild. This is wild. The ego death makes them turn the ship around. This would be 16. This is the Tower. This, you want to know how this, right here, this is what happens. This is their towers. The first major issue is going to be dealing with bad, habits, ego, blah, 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 blah. But then the second issue is having enough, what would you call that? I guess courage to turn the ship around. This is where you see, a lot of you have this experience, where you see a divine masculine who will come to you and say, I hate my husband, I hate my wife, I don't want to be with this person, I'm mad at them, or whatever. They'll say all these things, but then they'll stay with them. They will stick around, again, for the kids or whatever. There's all kinds of reasons. The hardest part isn't the ego death. It's turning the ship around after the ego death. Because not only are you your pride is already bruised or broken, right? And now you have to turn the ship around and go back. Imagine, this is what I see. I see the divine masculines being like, all right, guys, I'm out of here. We're moving to, some other country, and we're going on this boat, and we're never coming back. Screw you. I don't like you. You guys suck. I'm the best. Blah, blah, blah. And then they show back up a week later and they're like, yeah, we forgot our map. That's what it feels like for the divine masculine. The things that they said and did in their ego, that's one thing. They're going to have to deal with that internally, right? But nobody really knows what they're going through, so they can deal with that on their own. The hardest part is the things that are revealed to the public, the things that they have to go back on. Some of them have talked trash about you and told their friends, no, I don't even like her. No, he ain't my type. Oh, he crazy. She always texting. They talk trash, and now being with you means they're going to have to walk all that back. I I get it. I understand. I promise I understand. It hurts. It sucks. But you know what? This is why the divine masculine, once they finally come around, they're not going to go anywhere. Because this humbling was enough, but this, having to come back and drop this crazy person off that they said, nah, I don't care about you. This person's my soulmate. This person is, they're real. They know what I need. Oh yeah, I'm going to give everything up for them. I would never give it up for you. I didn't want to be in a relationship when you and I met, but 3 weeks after I stopped talking to you, I was in a relationship on Facebook. I've seen it all, y'all. I have seen it all. I have literally thousands of clients. I have seen it all. I understand your pain. I am not trying to make you feel bad. I am telling you that you will always have growth to do. You will always have issues that you have to face with your divine masculine, some big, some small, because you are two different people. And the moment you add an extra person in the mix, it gets crazy. I need you to understand that you could very well be impacting your journey, especially if there's some karmic stuff that has to be worked through, by either getting involved where you don't need to be getting involved or pretending that there's not a problem. Guess what? 2 of Swords, divine feminine training card. Hello. Stop pretending there's no problem. You could very well be causing the stalemate. You ever played checkers where you just kind of hop around the board and you never actually catch each other because you're down to those last few pieces and there's no way to win the game? Stalemate. You can't. Well, I don't know if that's what a stalemate is in checkers, but that's what I see. Running around in circles, never getting together because you don't just want to just get it over with. Let the cycle end. Let them do what they need to do. You know how you let the game end? You walk directly up to the person and let them jump over you and they take your thing and the game is over. You don't have to freaking play that anymore. They need to go through that. So let them have their experience. Let them turn the ship around. Look how many times we see 3 of Wands in reverse, 6 of Swords in reverse, 6 of Wands in reverse. And then those are all reversals. Look at this. Reversal, reversal, reversal. On what 3 cards? Yucky card, yucky card, yucky card. 4 of Wands, Ace of Cups on what? Justice and the Chariot. Come on. You know, see, it's okay. So what's the final message that we need to understand about this from divine? What's the energy that we don't want to acknowledge? What is the theme of this message? This is really the message, but what is it that divine is trying to get through to us? I got it under control, baby. I know what I'm doing. My ways are higher than your ways. Stop asking me all these questions while I'm working. I will tell you what you need to know. I love you so much. I promise I will never let you move forward without what you need. I will always give you what you need, and I will never give you more than you can handle. But you will surely grab a hold of junk that you don't need, become a bag lady, and then try to blame me for that. Put it down. Let it go. I am working on it. Please be cooperative. You are going against me every time you dig your hand into the pot. Stop opening the oven. Stop taking the lid off the crock pot while it's cooking. I am doing something. Okay, so divine is asking you to balance yourself. What's this? The Queen of Wands. Guess what came up in the original energy of the 3D? Spread your wings and fly. Assert your independence and creativity. This is what I asked of you. I needed you to go and be waiting for the DM. I didn't need you to wait for the DM here. See, some of y'all heard from the divine and you thought divine was saying, yeah, wait for your masculine. No. They were saying, get to the place where you're supposed to be and then wait for them. This is saying, wait for them to catch up. They got longer legs than you, okay? They're going to get there more quickly than it took you to get there. I'm going to give them a rocket booster, okay? Even though you were on foot. Don't be mad because they got a rocket booster and you had to be on foot. Don't get mad at me. I needed you to strengthen your legs. And I needed them to learn how to use a rocket. So stop worrying. I know what the plan is. What do you mean, what's the rocket for and what are your legs for? Don't worry about that. You're going to mess it up if I tell you. So what's the message? What is it that your guides are like, okay, I'm about to give up? Because guess what? 14 plus 1 is 15. Ego. Devil. Yeah, what are the odds that the devil and the ego in that deck? Same. So what is it? Look at this. You got things going. You're not going to believe me. You're not going to believe me. You're not going to believe me, so I'm just going to have to show you. Wait for perfect timing. Poor timing. More going on than meets the eye. Plans that need revision. The need for balance and cooperation, or moderation, cooperation and compromise. Divine says, look, I love you so much, I'm going to compromise with you. Are you willing to compromise with me? Because I could have just forced you to do what I wanted you to do. I could have just said, no. I don't care what you want. But no, I love you so much, I'm going to give you that. And guess what? That's half of it. Half of it. You need to be doing your job. You think that because you're in your 11 place, or you're in, 11 plus 11, 22, or 7 plus 7, we just saw that 7 plus 7, 14. You think that because you're doing your half of the work, and you can't see the other half of the work being done, like 2 pieces of a project that are going to come together at the last minute. Maybe somebody's working on it in India and somebody's working on it in, Seattle. And at the end of the project, they bring it together and hope it fits, okay? Maybe someone's building the engine and the other person is building the body, okay? And they just hope. But you can't see what they're doing over there. And maybe sometimes the communication that you get from India or from Seattle is a little bit troublesome. You're like, oh, that's going to be problematic. But what you don't know is that they're working hard. They're doing their thing. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean that you should give up on your part because it seems like they're incompetent, because it seems like they don't know what they're doing. Don't give up. And don't give up on divine and assume, because this is the real message. For every step your masculine won't take, divine is carrying them through, footprints in the sand style. For every step that you are taking in your fullness, in your full 11, for everything you're doing, divine is holding your divine masculine and making sure that when you get where you're supposed to be, when you get to the place, the timeline, and the frame where union is meant to begin, divine will either have dropped your divine masculine off like Stephen, bloop, bloop, here you go, or given them a rocket booster when they put him down and said, all right, now you need to learn how to fly. All right. Final message. Final message for the 5D. Oh, would you look at who's here? Final message. Oh, that was quick. Ha ha! 16. We are moving from a place of tower after tower, constant turnarounds, going backwards, conditional love into unconditional, into fortune finally being on our side. This is how the chariot energy is going to be represented right here. Fast movement, love. That's it. This is what you need to know. This is your card for the 5D. And guess what? This is the card for both of you. So what is it that this means for the divine masculine? What are you missing about it? What are you missing about this in the 3D? Because you don't really know what's up with them. You barely even know who they are because you're not with them 24/7. And so you really don't know them like you think you know them. And that's not like an insult to you, like, oh, you should know them. No, you shouldn't know them. You're not around them. You should not know how they've evolved as if you, or how you would if you were with them constantly. You shouldn't know that. It's creepy if you do, honestly. So what is it that you don't know? What is it that you've been missing this whole time, thinking that they're not moving, thinking they're not getting better, thinking that they're just playing around, ruining their life, or where you're just helping them play around, helping them not do what they're supposed to do? What is it you need to understand about this new unconditional, this new cycle, this matter of fact, I feel like this is about the eclipse. Okay, hold on. Okay, got it. They needed to go. Oh, man. See, you guys have to watch some of my other readings. If this is your first time here and you're new to me, you're going to need to watch, even if you just watch the last 2 or 3 DM, DF, and eclipse video. I've done a few videos in the past few days that have been ridiculously powerful. That's probably why there's so many people here now, because a lot of you are either new or a lot of you have been feeling the energy and needed the message. But you need to watch them because there's some things that are going to come through that will explain a lot of this that I couldn't touch on tonight because there were so many things that needed to be taught in this moment. And you see how long this reading already was. Okay, so check it out. All right, focus, Grace. What is happening with this? Oh, there we are. Wow. You guys, look at this. Thank you, Gemini. I really appreciate you for that. This right here, 9 of Pentacles. This says, listen, I know who you are. I see you over there alone. I see you over there by yourself. I have the cup of love. I've been thinking about you. I convinced myself there were other fish in the sea and that if I couldn't find someone just like you, that I could find a little bit of everything and build you like weird science, like the bionic man. Or is it $600, 600 million, 6 million? How much? It wasn't like 6 million. It wasn't even that expensive. All right. Anyways, I tried for so long to go out and piece things together, but I know you. I see you. There's the 10. You see the wheel? What is it? Page? I kind of get an energy of shifting from the page into the Knight of Cups. The romance is coming. The charm is coming back. They're honestly, most of your DMs, and maybe they have like sweet personalities when you guys are happy and you're together, but you know that for the most part, a lot of them are very, very miserable and they're very focused and very negative about where their life is because they're not happy. What did I tell you at the beginning of the reading? Ace of Pentacles. That's why they had to go through this. They had to go through this so that they would realize that who they were with or whatever dream or plan they had was not the move. It was not going to help them. Now they're acknowledging that in order to get to that 10 of Cups and that 10 of Pentacles, we see it here, in order to get there, they need to figure out what's missing and they need to figure out where they fit. They've realized what's missing is, what's missing is this 9 of Pentacles. That's you. That's the cultivator. This is the divine feminine who has been on her journey, his journey, focused on the right things, doing what they're supposed to do, beginning their light worker journey. This is you at the kingdom where God told you to go, at the meeting place. Some of you are all the way back here and thinking you got to wait for your DM because you don't want to get too far ahead and think, oh no, I can't see them. I've lost sight of them. I'm going to lose them. Move on. Some of you are here in the middle and you're kind of like, all right, I really want to go there, but I'm so torn, and you're going back and forth. And some of you have been waiting here patiently. And this reading triggered you because you're like, but Grace, what about me? I did all the work. What about me, Grace? I've done everything you've said. I'm there. Guess what? You're supposed to be in the 9 of Pentacles, upright, being the cultivator. You got so much going on running this kingdom by yourself that you should not be worried about where your DM is, other than to say, I can't wait till you come home. Let me ask you a question. If your soldier, let's say it like that, your divine masculine is out in boot camp right now. If you were talking to someone that was deployed, would every time you talk to them, would you go, I just miss you so much and I don't know if I could do this without you? Would you do that to them? No. You might sob and cry your freaking eyes out when that call hangs up. But those rare moments where you get to speak to them from afar, you're just going to speak life. Oh, I miss you, baby. I love you. And that's what you're supposed to be, keeping the kingdom together while they're deployed. Not worrying about them so much that everything around you falls apart because they're not here. So I want you to realize that when you do this, they will see that even though that one little pentacle that they have, the one thing that they've got, that one idea, they will realize, okay, but with my one thing and her 9 things and her ability to cultivate this is possible. This is their karmic does not offer them this. Either their karmic drains them, either their karmic is like 9 of Swords or 9 of Wands, and again, that could be their job. They've been grinding it out, 3 jobs. Why am I not making any money when all I do is work? Probably because you're doing the wrong thing with your life, sir or ma'am, and your divine counterpart is probably waiting for you to figure that out, so that you can come with them and you guys can create the prosperity that you were meant to, that you were ordained to. And then here we see what? We see the divine masculine realizing that the final cup missing from that 10 of Cups, from that joy. Oh, thank you, Eliza. What up, member? What up? That's dope. Appreciate you. Love you, boo. The reason that they're seeing this and they're going, oh, what's missing from my 10 of Cups? It's the final cup. It's the love. Oh, Dora, 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 the explorer. I'm sorry, that was mean. I hope that didn't trigger you from childhood. I love you. Thank you for your donation. Sorry. Oh, but this is what was missing all the time. I kept thinking it was this and that. And I kept thinking that maybe if I would piece it together, but what's really wrong was I had not offered my cup. I had not given someone, right? I have a pentacle that I'm going to trust this person with. I'm going to plant this seed with this person. I'm going to go and join their garden, their army or whatever. And together, even though mine might only be one thing, I might be the missing piece for the 10 of Pentacles. So while it might be only one piece, if it's the missing piece, that's the working piece, what if it's the key? I got the key. Have you guys ever seen like a movie where it's like the key, the thing you have to put into like some hole it sounds so weird, to make it work is like a big old crystal? What if that pentacle is a crystal? And they're the ones who have the thing that's going to unlock it, turn the thing on, and get the machine, the system, the whatever moving. And what if the real problem is they've been spending all this time trying to protect their heart, but it was always meant to be their divine feminine who was going to do that. Their divine feminine had a place for their heart right here in their own chest, in their own body, in their own mind, in their own soul. The divine feminine had the safe place all along. They've been running around in circles trying to find their safety net. The DF was it. So in both places, we see someone who has all of these things to give, but is too afraid to offer it because it's vulnerable. All right. Let's read the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune and we'll be done. The angels sent you this card because of because of positive changes occurring in your life. Expect and enjoy beneficial new opportunities as they present themselves. This is an optimal time to make big and small changes. Take the leap with the knowledge that everything will work well for you. Old blocks are lifting. Yes, you getting unblocked, Divine Feminine. You're getting unblocked. You're getting unblocked. You're getting unblocked. Old blocks are lifting and everything now moves forward quickly. All right. If recent events shook, oh no, come on, Gracie. Okay. If recent events shook your faith, you'll now see how they were actually positive for you. Rapid advancement is likely now. I have a feeling that none of you are going to believe me. So, is it blurry? Y'all can screenshot this later, but I'm telling you it's right here. It's in the book. Additional meanings, good luck. Ready? A happy accident, balanced karma, a miracle, a twist of fate, destiny. Archangel Michael is the supreme protecting angel who walks beside you through changes, giving you courage, strength, and self-confidence. Call upon Michael whenever you'd like specific guidance about your next step, especially if it's connected to your life purpose or spiritual path. You know what? I love y'all. We almost made it to 500 viewers. I know when I do readings like this that get really big, lot of chatting going on and all that, it can be overwhelming for some of you. I know some of you have emailed me and said, hey, you know, I had to turn off the chat because of this or that. I get it. There's a lot of energy right now, but come on. This is big. This is huge. This is a message that confirms what you already know, which is you gotta focus on you. Because either you're going to mess something up, you're going to interfere, you're going to put yourself in a negative light when you didn't mean to. There's all these situations that you're going to cause doing all this. When you take your hands off, you focus on you grow your garden, there's nothing that can get in the way of what is for you. Nothing can separate you from the love that God has for you, period. That doesn't just include divine love for you from divine. It also means that whatever good was destined for you, there's really nothing you can do to stop it. So why are you so sad? Why are you so mad? Why are you so upset? Why are you so miserable? Why are you so angry? Why are you so burdened? Bag lady. Why are you dragging all them bags like that? Nobody ever told you. All you must hold on to is you. Divine masculines find it incredibly sexy when their divine feminine is just a powerhouse. I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. That's what they're looking for. I don't even like half of these songs. This is wild. So, I love you. Those of you who donated, please, if you've donated anytime recently and I didn't say this to you when you did donate, please shoot me a quick email so I can send you a little token. If you've ever donated to me and I did not say that to you, please make sure you hit me up. And you know I can prove it, so don't be like, oh, I donated to you last year. Okay, well, I have access to YouTube to make sure that's true. So if you ever do donate, please just let me know, because I like to make sure that even though I know that I've given you something, I don't know, I just want to make sure that you know I appreciate it, and I don't just do this for the occasional times where you guys might, donate in the chat. So thank you for that. All right. I love you. I hope that this helped. I know that, again, it was a very, very long reading. There was points where I had to kind of go into the chat, and I usually don't have the chat out like this, or even if I do, if I don't know if mods are here, and I still won't look at it because it's a lot, but I'm glad that I was able to get some of these questions directly from the collective, because I know that a lot of you have the same questions. A lot of you email me not knowing it's the same story, and it's not to say that everyone has the same journey. We know it's a unique journey, but many people who are in similar vibrations have the same problems, have the same questions. So I love you. I hope that this blessed you. I hope that this, in as much as it might have triggered you, I hope that just even seeing the cards that came, look at the energy. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Look at where the beautiful cards are located. Look at how the tough cards continuously show reversal. Look at what came out. Because as much as you may not want to receive the message, you stuck around. You watched a freaking hour and a half long video. All right? You know this was for you. You know it's true. You know I'm not trying to make you feel bad or feel guilty. I'm simply saying to you the messages that came through, and this is what came through. Hold that cookie tight. Stand up for what you believe in, but do it on your own. It's not your job to change them. Divine is working on it. And just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Don't be like that. Thank you, TG. That's dope. Thank you. I love all these colors the chat does. Things are shifting and everything is happening the way it's happening so that when it's finally time for love, you're going to be out of there. Phew, out of there. Allow the towers to fall, though, because they have to. They do. Alrighty. Oh, haha. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys all kinds of stuff. Okay, there's all kinds of stuff going on. So if you know what this part of the reading is about, the readings or the message is about, the reading is over. I love you guys, and thank you, Sandra Lee, because you see I was about to go ahead and go. I always do it. I'm always like, all right, but wait a minute, just got you. But some of you have already seen this, but if you haven't, the only reason I continue to do this is because I guess people really are never sure like what readers do offer personalized services. Some of you have recognized throughout this reading, I'm not a normal tarot reader. I'm not a tarot reader at all. I just am a coach who happens to use tarot cards for the imagery. Okay. And so if you're interested in working with me to get a reading, my readings are always going to be kind of like what you see. If you're interested in talking to me, guess what? My coaching is always going to be what you hear. And so if you're interested in working with me, just visit my website, thefierygrace.com. Right now, all of the Divine Masculine readings and the sessions with me and my Divine Masculine, as well as the sessions with just my Divine Masculine, all of those are on sale for 22% off. It's actually a really good discount right now. So I'm doing that because of it's Father's Day. There's the eclipse happening. I just have a feeling that something really, really tremendous is happening in the Divine Masculine's life right now. And I want to make sure anyone who needed that little extra discount could get it. Also, if you are not interested in one of those readings, but you are interested in a free exclusive reading, there is a code BOGOX, okay? BOGOX, BOGOX. If you decide to buy anything over $40, put in the promotional code for a free exclusive reading, BOGOX, BOGOX, and you can make sure you add whatever exclusive you want to your cart, or else the discount won't show up. So exclusive DF, DM, love letter, rune reading, and prophetic message. Those are the 5 messages available as exclusives. They're all under $15, and they're full like readings. They're not just extended or anything like that. They're standalone readings. So if you'd like a free one and you were already going to make a purchase, please don't forget to get yourself a free service. Why not? Also, I have a gift box. If you want to know what the gift box looks like, it is a free gift set. Anybody who spends $11.11 or more this month will win or be entered to win. So you can donate if you don't actually want to buy anything. But you might as well just get an exclusive or something like that. If you spend $11.11 or more this month in my shop on my site, you will be entered to win a free gift set. It is dope. It's over $100 value. Shipping is included. There's no cost to you. And if any of you are like, well, why do you have to pay $11.11? Then it is to cover the shipping basically. So people, if you've already bought this month, you're already entered. Okay. But if you haven't yet and you're interested, go check out the community tab. Look at that post of what's in the box. There is like gold, silver, black, pink, and rose gold, I think, is like the color scheme. There's all kinds of really amazing stuff in it. It's called a Master Manifestor gift set. So if you're interested in winning that, just, all you have to do, like I said, is at some point maybe buy an exclusive, or if you've been meaning to order a reading, why not? You can email me, thefierygrace@gmail.com. That is, if you email me there, you'll get an auto reply back that lets you know what it's like to work with me. I have a bunch of seminars coming up. So if you're interested in starting a YouTube channel or building an online business, or if you need help understanding YouTube, I now offer these seminars as well as the individual sessions for the same content. Okay. So if you want to do what I do, if you want to help people from home, or really from anywhere in the globe, all you need is a phone and your face. You can start a YouTube channel. And even if you maybe aren't sure about using YouTube, but you're thinking about going onto a social media platform, the Living the Dream seminar can be really, really powerful for you. So, okay. I think that's everything, guys. Right? Sales, free exclusive, this is hard. So welcome. I'm Fiery Grace the Gifted. Welcome to me. This was a tough reading. And if you just got here, I do not talk about this stuff very frequently, if at all. I focus more on coaching the divine feminines. I am an intuitive life strategist. I'm here to help you find peace, love, and light on your journey. That's my job. So this is not my job. My job is not to make you feel bad or coddle you or trigger you. That's not what I'm here to do. My job is to bless you the best that I can. And sometimes these messages do come through. So if this is more what you're into, my other messages might not be for you. But if you really enjoyed this, check out more of my readings. There's a lot that I offer that is meant to help you not feel like every moment of your union is a freaking crisis. Okay. So, oh crap. I have a session. Oh my God, I forgot I had a session. If you're watching this, girl, I am on the way. All right, I have to go. I can't believe I forgot. Oh my God. Okay, luckily I'm only 5 minutes over, but I was supposed to clear. Baby, I'm gonna call you in 10 minutes. Okay, all right, okay. Did I do everything? Whatever, y'all. My website is thefierygrace.com. My birthday's coming up, and that's why I'm giving this gift box away. My love language is gift, so I'm thinking of what else was I supposed to say? Seminars. I do this because I don't see you as competition, and you shouldn't see me as competition. If you need to get your channel started and you've been procrastinating, get it done. Just get it done. So I think that's everything I should say right now. I love you guys. Check my community tab for announcements and things like that. And then if you're interested in joining the channel and supporting this channel, getting those special perks, those special badges, those special emojis, and other things, with the membership, there's all kinds of perks. The base level has the most perks, and then the top levels have really cool perks like, private live sessions for members only. I put bonus content out. It's just a really great way to support what I'm doing on YouTube and making sure that the free readings can continue for people. So if you guys are interested, I hope it helps. I hope that whatever I said today, I just want you to know I love you. I can't say it enough. I don't want you to feel like I don't have your back, or that I don't care about you and I'm only for the masculines. I tell you who they really are because I don't think anyone else will. So I hope that you know it's all love. I'm really grateful for you. And this was a dope time that we got to spend together. So hopefully you enjoyed it too, even if it was a little bit tough. All right. I love you. I'm out of here. Peace.